Right? The Enlightenment era started around the 18th century, around 1750, we can say. We can debate sort of exactly when it started from. But here, reason was advocated as the primary source of authority. Right? That's what it was. So if somebody says, the Earth is the center of the universe, we say, no, you just can't make such claims. Let's actually experiment. Let's use reason. Let's use logic and understand such things. Don't just make statements that have no ground. And the Enlightenment era began this movement of reassessing everything that there was and starting fresh and thinking about how we can view reality from these claims, from these ideas. Things have to be measured, tested, evaluated, and not just accepted on faith. Not just because somebody said so. If somebody says the sun is the center of our solar system, you simply can't say that's true. We have to say, why? Let's see. Is it making sense from the experimental data we have? Now, I am a huge fan of the Enlightenment. Just to let you guys know. It has given to me something I value more than anything else, a clean bathroom. Isn't that important? You walk into a bathroom, the tiles are clean, the sink is wiped. Potpourri smell, right? That is because of the Enlightenment. You have antibiotics now to clean that bathroom. And one of the worst things is a dirty bathroom. You know what I'm talking about? Right? That's exactly what the Enlightenment has given us, cleanliness. It has given us the fact that I can leave now and almost within 24 hours be anywhere in the globe. It's amazing. It has given us technology. It has given us antibiotics. It has given us transportation. It is a glorious thing. But unfortunately, it has come with something that I would just want right now to label as dualism. By partitioning the world we live in into pieces, what was once a place where science and art and music and literature and all of these things were together has now been broken into pieces. Now, I am not a professor who understands things of all those worlds. I'm not even a professor who understands mathematics. I know this one small slice of that world. It's broken us into specialists. Now, but I have a doctor, and my doctor is not just a specialist of medicine. He's just not a specialist of the eye. He's a specialist of the retina. Right? You get very specialized because of the Enlightenment. Right? We're very focused because of this thing. And it's a good thing, but there's a danger to this thing. So first of all, let me show you this danger from the perspective of mathematics, right? Because I'm a mathematician. If a mathematics undergrad, if a math major was Superman, who would be this person's Lex Luthor? Who would be a math major's exact opposite arch rival? And I'll tell you who it is. It's the art student. I sit on planes, I give conferences, I go to talks, I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to somebody else. What do you do? Oh, I'm a math professor. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the first things you hear. They apologize for their sins. I'm sorry, Father. Forgive me, for I liked geometry, but algebra stumbled. And you have you're like listening to confessions everywhere you go. And the greatest confessions are those ones, I'm an artist. Those things don't make any sense to me. And they're really, forgiving in this dualism that has existed. What used to be Da Vinci, where art and math and science blended in together because of the Enlightenment era, the Renaissance has been cut into pieces. You have, on one side, the art student who feels, who's emotional, who doesn't do things objectively but subjectively. And then on the other side, you have this cold-hearted math snake, just logic and reason and a knife of death. Let me show you something right here, right? Gauss-Bonnet theorem. To me, the greatest result in math. Thank you. I am in love with this result, right? What does it say? The integral of the curvature over a surface is equal to 2 pi times the Euler characteristic. What this says is, if you take a surface, if you take an object like a sphere and just deform it, pull it and stretch it, the curvature of this object as you pull and stretch, no matter how you do this, the total curvature at every point of this object has to just be the fact it's related to the shape of the surface itself. It's related to the fact it's just a sphere. Right? It is one of the most beautiful results. It is a visual result embedded into a formula. Now, when most people in this world look at this thing, look at this, what they see is something that Stephen Colbert says. Equations are the devil's sentences. You just want to laugh just looking at the guy, right? He's fantastic. And so the idea is, all of a sudden we have this dualism. We've ripped math into pieces where, one, you can talk about math in terms of integral signs and equations, but don't you dare bring pictures into math, right? Because that's a different way of thinking about it. And then you can talk about pictures all you want, but don't you dare bring math into that realm, right? Enlightenment has brought this dualism and ripped the pieces into two. So let me give you a quote by John Littlewood, who's a famous mathematician. He wrote this book called Miscellany. And here's a quote from what he wrote. A heavy warning used to be given that pictures are not rigorous. This has never had its bluff called and has permanently frightened its victims. What does it mean? People have been telling me, have been telling the mathematicians throughout time that you cannot use pictures to be rigorous. Right? That's not the way we do things. That's over there. We have to use equations, symbols, algebraic notation. But my friends, symbols and algebraic notation, those are pictures. They're just in a different language.